Welcome back, guys, to Gear Up with Gadgets. I'm your host, Colson Gear, and today I've got another special gadget for you. This is what I'd like to call the Mousetrap Wallet. This is specially designed to catch thieves from trying to take your money. I say trying because I don't think there'll be very many successful attempts with this wallet. So, the whole point of this wallet is to be sticking halfway out of your pocket. Any normal thief that had any good skill would jump at a chance like this because ideally if it were a regular wallet it would be loose, it's halfway out. The chances are the owner wouldn't realize when the pickpocket takes it. But when they go to grab it, they'll probably grab it normally like this, except when they do that, the little arm comes down and smashes their fingers. I doubt they'll still be holding on to it after that happens. So, I will show you guys how to build one, so stay tuned. Alrighty guys, so first things first, a list of what we need. So, I use this type of mousetrap. It has the 2 springs. I'm pretty sure others have 1 spring versions. I'm sure those will work too. This is just the kind that they had at my hardware store that I went to. We'll use the springs from this and the wood. So keep those. Next, 3D printed parts. You need a 3D printer for this, unfortunately, or some places have local libraries that have 3D printers, or other places. So there's things out there if you don't have one. I'll release the STL files on Thingiverse. I'll leave it down in the description, the link. So you got the base plate here that'll just glue onto the wallet, and this way actually. And then we have the little flap that keeps the bar down when you're ready. Next thing is a wallet, just a regular billfold. I think I got this at Walmart for like $7. So yeah, pretty cheap little wallet. Unless you wanted to go nicer if you're actually going to wear this normally. And then next thing is wire coat hanger. I used some fencing wire in my last one, but I'm going to see if I'm sure it'll work with regular coat wire. And then tools. These are what I'd recommend: some needle nose, some side cutters, and just some other, just regular pliers will work too. Alrighty guys, on to the construction. So first things first, tear apart the mousetrap. So remember I said we'll need the wood and the springs. So pretty easy to take apart. Just kind of follow along with what I'm doing. Take out the metal pegs. Plastic bit. So then we have the metal, or I'm sorry, the wood, and we'll use this later, so set that aside. And then first things, we'll use the springs. So if you're using the 2 spring version, what I did is I bent down the little things so they fit nice in that little hole I made. So we're gonna go ahead and do that real quick. So just a little bit, nothing crazy, just like so. Gotta make sure I bend them the right way. Just like so. Then next I'd recommend is getting the glue. So I'm just going to use some super glue. I forgot to include that, but just some super glue that to the wallet. I haven't had any problems with the other one holding. And you'll want to do it on the side that has the 2 parts. So not the folded side, but the 2 individual parts. Get that tag out of here. So I'm going to glue that right now. So I'm going to go pretty heavy on the glue. Don't want it falling off, especially on the corners. And any super glue will work. So you want to make sure you get this right, because it'll be a pain coming off. So you got to have the two farther apart edges towards the middle of the wallet, and the two closer together, these two on the inside. Alrighty, so now that the glue is dry, we're going to start by cutting up our coat hanger. So first is what you want to do is just cut at the corners first. This is going to be our main piece that goes across here. We need a long straight piece for that, so set that aside. Then you have two more pieces. I'm just going to go ahead and use this side. I'm going to cut it off there where it's straight, and somewhere around there, and then I can cut it shorter. So you can set aside the rest of that coat hanger, and then you get your rod. And first, what you can do is just get a little bit in your pliers, and then bend it against the desk. And try to get like a 90 degree, like so. Maybe a little more. That's a little better. Shouldn't matter too much. Next, what you're gonna do is get your piece, your little flap that holds the bar in. You want to line it up as close as possible and get that rod through there. And then you're going to want to, so in this position I bent it that way. I want to do the same thing on this side. So I don't want to have it bent the other way. I want to have it bent the same way. You're going to want to give yourself plenty of space so you don't break off these plastic bits. So let's see here. And just about that. And then what we can do is we can use the side cutters here and get it pretty close. Show you. To the bottom, and then it's not sticking out much, but it still won't pull through. So we can go ahead and do the same on the other side. And then if you have a file, you can file that down like I did on this one. The edges are a little smoother, so they won't tear your clothes or cut yourself. Alrighty guys, so we got that piece in. Now we're gonna work on this piece that goes right around here. This is probably the harder one, but not too terrible. So give yourself a little extra there, and then gonna wanna put your pliers, kind of line it up, and I'll bend it right about there. Just do a good old 90. Check and see how that looks. Looks good. And then, so this is something you're gonna have to make sure and check. You want it to fit right in this, like right here where my finger is. So trying to get that bend right, it has to be just so. Let's see here. Let's try about there. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. So, and then I'll just bend it right here as well. There we go. So now for probably the hardest part is wrapping it around there without bending it. But first, before you do that, it might be a good point to just put your springs in. So your springs do have a specific way they need to go. So just be paying attention to that. So guys, when you're putting in your springs, I didn't mention this earlier, but when you bend them, you want to bend them on the side. So it's kind of like a 90. Well, you want to bend this little piece in to go in the little holes there. you want to bend them in towards the 90. So then they'll give it a little more power. I don't think I did that on these ones, and I don't think that's why this one doesn't hurt as much, but this one definitely will. So let's start by putting it in the little hole. We're in, and so now we need to wrap it. So I said the hardest part, I'm going to use a needle nose, and it does kind of pull in the wire. As you see, it pulled it down this side, but that's okay if it's not perfect. So guys, I got the wire straightened out a little bit, a little more square. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and going to cut this piece as close as I can in a circle, and if you have a little file that would make that nice and smooth. But I'm going to see if I can curl that down a little bit. Kind of hard with the wallet, but, and there we go. Should move pretty nice and freely. Then you cut this down. You don't want it to be too tight where it won't spin, so you go around there. And I didn't do this on the other version, but doing it now, and it just kind of keeps, bend that up a little bit, keeps that wire from scooting off, this piece from scooting off there. So now put the springs on. So I suggest bending the springs or twisting them so that the hook kind of wraps around it instead of just laying flat on it. Oh yeah, that is plenty tight. You may have to put the springs on every time, but it should be okay. I think this one's actually even better than my other one. And then, so, one last piece, if you hadn't forgot about the wood, if you put the wood in here, it provides something for the thing to snap on, so the flexibility of the wallet doesn't absorb it. So what you'll have to do though, is you'll have to cut it right about there. Cut it off so it can still fold nice and everything. So, once I do that, I will be right back. So guys, here it is, the wood. So, just make it so it can close nice. And there we are. You've got yourself your own mousetrap wallet. Yeah, this one is definitely more powerful than my other one. I didn't bend the springs right when I did this one. But yes, here we go. That's all there is to it. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!